There's something orbiting between Mars and Jupiter that shouldn't exist. And James Webb just confirmed it. We're observing something that physics can't explain. When humanity's most powerful space telescope points its lenses at an object and returns with the message, inconclusive, you know the universe is hiding something big. Very big. The interstellar comet 3I/Atlas isn't just another cosmic visitor. It may be the first evidence that we're not alone in our search for answers. Or worse, that someone already found those answers long before us. Since the interstellar object 3I/Atlas first crossed our solar system, astronomers worldwide have kept their eyes fixed on it. After Oumuamua and Comet Borisov, we expected these cosmic visitors to become less mysterious over time. We were wrong. The James Webb Space Telescope, with its unprecedented ability to see through cosmic dust and capture spectral signatures in the infrared, was pointed at 3I/Atlas with a clear mission: to unveil once and for all the nature of this object that defies our theories about interstellar comets. NASA had signaled that Webb's data would finally bring conclusive answers about the composition and behavior of 3I/Atlas. What happened was exactly the opposite. Instead of closing the case, the observations opened a scientific Pandora's box that is leaving astrophysics specialists genuinely baffled. The object continues to defy all known physical predictions, behaving in ways that don't match any comet or asteroid ever catalogued, whether of local or interstellar origin. The data collected by the James Webb Telescope is, to say the least, disturbing. And not in the literal sense, but in the purest scientific sense. It disturbs established models and reliable equations. First, Webb detected brightness variations in 3I/Atlas that are neither chaotic nor random. They occur at mathematically regular intervals, as if there were some kind of structural periodicity in the object, or in its interaction with the space environment. Natural comets can present brightness variations, but rarely with this temporal precision. Second, the heat emissions captured by Webb's infrared instrument don't match the expected patterns of ice sublimation. When comets approach the Sun, the ice on their surface gradually vaporizes, releasing gases and heat in a predictable way. 3I/Atlas, however, presents thermal peaks that don't correspond to its distance from the Sun or the amount of solar radiation it's receiving. And perhaps most intriguing, an unprecedented spectral signature was identified in the observations. These are absorption and emission lines that don't correspond to any known element or compound in the periodic table. This doesn't necessarily mean there's alien matter on board, but it strongly suggests that 3I/Atlas contains minerals or chemical compounds formed under extremely rare conditions, possibly non-existent in our own solar system. Faced with such unusual data, the scientific community has divided between natural models and bolder hypotheses, some of them truly disturbing. Natural explanations include the presence of exotic minerals formed in stellar environments completely different from ours, with pressures and temperatures that would result in unique crystalline structures. Another theory points to the solar plasma effect: stellar wind interacting anomalously with the object's surface, creating ionization patterns that would explain the irregular thermal emissions. There's also the hypothesis of complex gravitational interaction. 3I/Atlas could be rotating on multiple axes simultaneously, creating a rotational resonance effect that amplifies certain patterns of brightness and heat. This would explain the mathematical regularity observed by Webb. But then there are the alternative models. And here things get delicate. A growing group of researchers is raising the possibility, albeit cautiously, that 3I/Atlas may not be entirely natural. The regularity of the patterns, combined with the unknown spectral signature, raises questions that traditional science prefers to avoid. Could it be possible that we're observing an interstellar technological remnant? An object manufactured by some advanced civilization, now adrift in space after millennia of abandonment? What makes this hypothesis particularly unsettling is an admission made by several independent scientists in recent days: the observed pattern doesn't appear random. And when astronomers start using that language, the line between natural phenomenon and artificial artifact becomes dangerously blurred. NASA's official response to Webb's preliminary report was measured but revealing. The agency classified the data as inconclusive and highly unusual, a diplomatically chosen expression that, in practice, means we don't know what this is. In the corridors of major astrophysics institutions, the reaction has been mixed. Some researchers urge extreme caution, warning against premature speculation that could distort public perception about interstellar objects. Others, however, are calling for an independent reanalysis of the raw data collected by Webb, claiming that the initial interpretation may have been too conservative. Behind the scenes, in hallway conversations, emails between colleagues, and closed research groups, speculation is growing about a possible artificial origin of 3I/Atlas. This isn't conspiracy or sensationalism, but a legitimate scientific doubt in the face of evidence that doesn't fit available models. It's worth remembering, this isn't the first time an interstellar object has caused a stir. Oumuamua, the first confirmed visitor, also presented strange behavior, including non-gravitational acceleration that to this day lacks a consensus explanation. Harvard astronomer Avi Loeb publicly suggested that Oumuamua could be a probe or solar sail of extraterrestrial origin, a claim that generated both fascination and controversy. With 3I/Atlas, the debate is repeating itself, but with a difference. Now we have much more detailed data, collected by the most sophisticated telescope ever launched into space. And even so, the answers continue to escape our grasp. If, and that if, is enormous, 3I/Atlas truly presents evidence of directed energetic behavior or non-natural structure, we would be facing the first confirmed object to show signs of cosmic engineering. The implications would be seismic. For astrobiology, this would represent the first physical evidence of extraterrestrial technology, forever changing the debate about intelligent life in the universe. No longer a theoretical question, but a tangible and observable reality. For astrophysics, 3I/Atlas would force a revision of the very definition of comet. If interstellar objects can carry unknown chemical signatures and non-random activity patterns, then we need to expand our models of planetary formation and stellar chemistry to include scenarios we today consider unlikely or impossible. And for humanity as a whole, it would be a humbling reminder that the universe is far more vast, strange, and populated than our most optimistic models can predict. The boundary between science and mystery has never seemed so thin. 3I/Atlas is forcing us to confront an uncomfortable truth. Perhaps we don't have the conceptual tools necessary to understand everything the cosmos shows us. The story of 3I/Atlas is far from over. New observations are already scheduled to cross-reference Webb's data with observations from the Hubble telescope and a network of ground-based radio telescopes. The idea is to obtain a multidimensional view of the object, combining infrared spectra, visible light, and radio signals. Experts warn that the next results could be decisive. What Webb found could rewrite our understanding of interstellar visitors, stated one of the researchers involved in analyzing the raw data. If we confirm that the pattern is truly non-random and associated with a complex internal structure, we'll be facing something unprecedented in the history of astronomy. Organizations like SETI, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, are also keeping an eye on the case. Although 3I/Atlas hasn't emitted obvious radio signals, the possibility that it's an ancient technological artifact justifies continuous monitoring. And while we await new data, one question remains in the air. If 3I/Atlas defies known laws, perhaps it's showing us new ones that we don't yet understand. Perhaps the universe is trying to teach us something that our telescopes can see, but our theories still can't translate. Or maybe, just maybe, we're no longer alone in our search for answers in the cosmos. And 3I/Atlas is the first clue left by those who came before us. Follow the upcoming updates on 3I/Atlas and the James Webb observations. With each new discovery, the mystery deepens, or finally finds its solution.